Russian troops continue to carry out combined strikes on enemy facilities in the border regions of Ukraine. In the Sumy region, a guided aerial bomb hit a temporary deployment site near the 𝐔𝐤𝐫𝐚 lime plant. Another target was a concentration of enemy manpower in the Kharkiv region border area. A cluster of personnel and equipment on the northwestern outskirts of Vovchansk was hit. In Kostiantynivka, in the temporarily occupied part of the DNR, the AFU facilities were hit. A direct hit destroyed the building of the local police department, where security and special structures held meetings. The AFU in turn attacked the Belgorod region border area with drones. All targets were successfully shot down, with no damage or casualties. Meanwhile, in the Special Operations Zone, Russian troops continue to advance in several directions at once. In the Bakhmut direction, Russian armed forces have gained a foothold on the eastern outskirts of Ivanivsky, and the fighting is taking place on Shosseinaya Street. North of Avdiivka, Russian troops continue their offensive, having passed the enemy's first line of defense. As a result of fierce fighting, the northern outskirts of Orlivka came under the full control of the Russian armed forces, and the remnants of the AFU units retreated towards Umanska. At the same time, the AFU continues shelling frontline settlements of the DPR. 2 workers were killed and another was taken to hospital as a result of a HIMARS strike on the mineral water factory in the village of Ivanivska. On the Vuhledar direction, Russian troops expanded their zone of control in Novomikhailivka. The Russian armed forces took new positions near the Sintesprod Service industrial zone. Fighting is taking place on Tymyryazhyeva and Shevchenka streets. South of Orikhiv, fighting continues in the vicinity of Robotyne. The Russian armed forces are increasing their presence in the settlement, cutting through the AFU defenses. The enemy maintains presence in Krinky, where reserves are constantly transferred. The Russian armed forces are firing at the enemy's supply routes and deployment sites in the island zone and on the right bank. At the same time, the AFU continues to regularly shell populated areas on the left bank of the Dnipro River. In Malakardashinka, an AFU kamikaze drone attacked a civilian car. 3 civilians were killed.